Hi guys! Today I thought of putting a scenario out on the table and see where we're going with it. What do you think? Just imagine something bad has happened to you. You immediately feel like you deserve something in return, right? You're gonna go buy something you've been wanting for a really long time, or you're gonna call in sick, or you're just gonna go to your favorite fast food restaurant. It's almost like your brain is trying to balance out the scales of negativity and positivity, right? Ultimately, you go talk to a friend and you tell them about that negative situation, but there's not much reaction. Why do you feel disappointed? Why do you feel frustrated about it? Like you were owed something, sympathy, compassion, and you didn't get it. And that naturally leads to one question. Why do we feel like life owes us something when we've just suffered? One of the first reasons can be our belief in fairness. We grew up thinking that every time we do something good, we're gonna get positively rewarded, right? But what happens when life has other plans? You did everything right, you worked really hard, and yet there's just some shit that happened. It feels like a betrayal, like life is going against us. We just followed every rule that we were taught so that everything good could happen, but life ignored it and just sent misfortune our way anyways. So if being good doesn't protect us from all this suffering, what's the point in being good, right? And this is a natural reaction to that belief of fairness. Once we've suffered, we want that suffering to have meant something, and we want compensation for it. And not necessarily physical compensation, but more so like happiness, justice, fairness after it. Just something that will make that pain worth suffering. And when life doesn't pay us back, we start feeling resentment and we start to become very frustrated about it because we have to heal from something that was never worth going through. We aren't owed happiness and life to give us a happy event after something bad happens, but we are still worth pursuing happiness regardless of the situation, even if it's ourselves that have to go after it. Maybe the question is, what does life owe me now? But it's more, what can I do about it? And this might look a little contradicting, but what can I do for myself after the event doesn't mean what can I go buy myself? What can I go eat so that I feel better? Because that's actually us trying to compensate again for the bad situation. What can I do for myself is kind of a character building situation. It's what can I do so that next time I have a better resilience? What can I do so that this particular situation doesn't break me down as much without me looking for something to drown my sorrow in? I strongly believe that if something happens, we have to face it, and we can't just ignore it and try to drown our feelings in something else so that we can feel better but never face our real feelings. This was just a small parenthesis. But there's also another factor to all of this situation. It's the people factor. Deep down, there's another question that we ask ourselves. Besides life, we start thinking that people owe us something, as if we started expecting others to help restore our emotional balance and holding them responsible for it and accountable even. When we tell someone about our pain, we are more rarely looking for an answer or a solution. We are more often looking for validation and help. And when those people don't really meet our expectations, we start feeling frustrated because we feel like they're diminishing our feelings and what happened. And we tell ourselves, after all I went through, the least you could do is care. It feels like I'm painting humans to be very bad, but this is more unconsciously than willingly. We unconsciously expect others to carry that mental weight that we are carrying so that we feel lighter. And this will cause a second round of pain because the first time we're suffering because of the whole event that happened, the whole situation. And the second time is that disappointment of not having the reaction we were hoping for from others. And of course, it's normal to hope for someone to be there for us, but hoping for support is something very different from believing that someone owes us to lighten our pain or get the pain off our shoulders so that we feel better. We can go even further on this, because when our healing depends on other people and what they do for us, we completely hand them the control to our recovery, ourselves, and our feelings. Because when they listen and respond, we feel heard and we feel understood. And if they don't, it feels like our pain doesn't matter, and it can amplify it even. We stop working on ourselves so that we can make the best out of the situation and what we were given, and we start losing some type of resiliency and independence to these situations. We become dependent on something we can control, which is people's reactions to our situation. When someone validates the pain, we feel like our feelings are justified and we are allowed to feel this way. And when they don't, we feel like our pain doesn't matter and that they are denying our feelings. And there's no real solution to this, because we can't really just stop expecting others to make our pain lighter, because that's kind of how we work. It would be a very thorough and rough work on yourself. You could try to do it, but there is no formula and no list of things you could do so that you automatically become more resilient all by yourself and stop expecting others from owing you anything. It's a very long and hard work that you would have to do, because you would actually need to rewire your brain on those reflex moments, if I can say it that way. The only thing I can give you is the tip that, yeah, other people's support might feel good and might make you feel lighter, but it cannot be the foundation of your healing, because you cannot just depend on something that is so unexpected, like other people's feelings. You have to be able to depend on yourself and your resiliency. Healing starts when you stop asking yourself what you're owed from life and from others, and start asking yourself what you can do with what you were given right now.